Hi, I'm Scott and welcome back to the channel. Beautiful fall afternoon here in the backyard near the koi pond. Thought we would do a review of one of these new to me, relatively new to the market, smokeless fire pits. This one's by Solo Stove. It's the bonfire size. They come in three sizes. There's Ranger, I think, is a smaller one, more compact to take on the road with you. The bonfire, which can be mobile, I think is a good size for the backyard. Or there's what they call the Yukon, which is a much bigger one that's probably not for being used outside of the backyard. Let's pop this thing open. It comes nicely packed, as you would expect. It comes with what they call a carrying case. This is not the cover or shelter as they call it. This is a carrying case if you want to move it around, obviously when it's cooled off. There's a rim that goes around the top. And then this one comes with a stand. Not all of them do. This is an extra unit, but it's a stand to keep it off of, especially a non-combustible, a combustible floor. But for a non-combustible, it just keeps it up a little bit off the ground. So here's the unit itself. Stainless steel, double wall construction. Bring it a little closer here. So the key to this thing is you can see there are air holes along the bottom, air holes along the top here, and then air holes inside where your wood sits. So it allows for, in effect, a double burn. The wood burns down, the hot air comes up, is then fed back in through these holes, and it burns a second time, and that's what makes it smokeless. Certainly not completely smokeless, but it'll have significantly less smoke than a regular standard bonfire. Alright, so let's load this thing up and see how it works. Right over there you can see I've got a standard issue fire pit for out here, and I'm certainly going to do a side-by-side comparison for the next video on how much that one smokes versus how much this one smokes. Now, loading it up is as basic as you might expect. Just simply put your kindling in. I'm using birch wood. I actually had a cord of it delivered the other day. I should have taken a picture of that because, pro tip, if they ever offer to stack the wood that you have delivered, take them up on it. It took me an hour to get it stacked. I did get a real nice rack from Lowe's that I put together with the cover. Here's a picture of that, and it worked real well. Alright, let's see what happens. If I can get this thing to fire up. One nice thing about the birch is the bark is kind of built-in kindling. Now don't get all excited. Yes, there is smoke at first, and there's going to be with any fire pit. Here's the ring that goes on top. It sits in there. And so now we're going to just take a look to see how it burns. Now the key here is you keep your fuel, the firewood, below the top. Because what has to happen here, and the instructions say somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes of burning will allow it to get heated enough where it burns the secondary time through the other chamber, and that's what reduces the smoke load. And as you can see, it's starting to go, and there's quite a bit of smoke, like we would expect. It's only been probably less than a minute of this thing going. Let's see how it does in 5 to 10 minutes. About 15 minutes in now, maybe a little bit less. I've thrown another log on after the kindling started. As you can see, there is significantly less smoke. You can probably see the ripples in the air where there's clearly heat. It's hot coming out the top of that thing. And of course, the sides of this thing is hot. In the past, my dumbass would have touched it, but not today. There's not a whole lot of heat. You can hold your hand here and it's not hot. Up here, definitely hot. And as you can see, the smoke is really minimal, and that's the key to this whole thing. My wife doesn't like having to constantly move around a bonfire to keep the smoke out of her face. Doesn't like getting inside afterwards smelling like smoke and having to take a shower. So that's the reason we got this thing. And of course, it's not cheap. If any of you have looked these things up, you know, they go from $300 on up. And we got this one directly from the Solo Stove site, and it came quick. It shipped right away, and we got it within 2 days. I think the list price it was on sale is somewhere around $250. That was with the stand. You can see the stand underneath there. I also bought what they call the shelter, which you put over it. It's like a cover, so you can keep it outside. They suggest you don't keep this thing exposed to rain and snow, but with this shelter cover thing, I think it ought to be fine to leave outside. As you can see, we have a nice spot for it here next to the koi pond. And we can sit on our chairs here and enjoy it. See, the wind is kicking up and there's no increase in smoke. Well, there you have it. The Solo Stove Bonfire ripping away. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening. I've got myself a Guinness here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like, subscribe, and bell button, and I'll see you again soon here in the arena.